For centuries, the 64 squares of the chessboard were the ultimate proving ground for the human mind, a battle of intellect, of psychology, of sheer will. But what happens when your opponent has no psychology, no fear, no soul? We're about to explore how artificial intelligence didn't just learn our greatest game, it rewrote the very meaning of genius. Just let that sink in for a moment. This quote, it captures a complete reversal of power. For the greatest chess players on the planet, winning against a top AI isn't even on the table anymore. No, a draw, a tie, is now considered the absolute peak of human achievement. So how on earth did we get here?
Well, our story really kicks off with a single moment. A moment that sent a shockwave across the entire world, signaling that the age-old rules of engagement between man and machine were about to be broken.
You see, the dream of a chess-playing machine has been with us for centuries. At first, it was pure illusion, like the famous mechanical Turk back in the 18th century, which was just a clever box with a chess master hidden inside. But then, visionaries like Claude Shannon started laying the real groundwork, which all led to a fateful rematch in 1997.
And this was the result. IBM's supercomputer, Deep Blue, defeated Garry Kasparov. For the very first time in history, a machine had beaten the best of us, the pinnacle of human intellect, at our own game. This wasn't just a loss for Kasparov. It felt like a loss for all of us.
So how did it do it? Well, it wasn't with what we'd call intelligence. It was with brute, overwhelming force. Deep Blue was capable of analyzing 200 million positions every single second. This wasn't about finding a good move. It was a relentless avalanche of calculation designed to crush the human spirit.
In the aftermath, the chess world plunged into a full-blown existential crisis. Was the game solved? Was human creativity, our intuition, suddenly obsolete? The old romantic era of chess, with its daring sacrifices and psychological tricks, was suddenly face-to-face with an opponent that was completely immune to all of it. Cold, hard logic had arrived.
And this brings us to the next chapter of this conflict, the psychological toll. Because playing against an AI isn't like playing against a human. It's something else entirely. It is a siege against the human mind.
Just think about what that really means. There's no one to intimidate. There's no nervous twitch to exploit. There's just a silent, perfect, unfeeling wall that pushes back, move after move after move, with absolute, infallible precision. The human game is, it's human. It's full of nerves and fear and emotion. You're playing the person across from you just as much as you're playing the pieces on the board. But against an AI, all of that is gone. It's replaced by merciless, tireless, and perfect logic.
And the result of all this is what some people call a perfection complex. Grandmasters know they can't afford a single tiny mistake. The very creativity and intuition that once defined a genius are now seen as liabilities. The beautiful, flawed soul of chess is being sacrificed for cold, engine-approved precision.
But just as humanity was starting to adapt to this era of brute force calculation, the machines, they took another leap forward. And this one was way more profound. A totally new kind of intelligence emerged, and it was about to change the game forever.
You see, the old way, brute force, was all about raw power. An engine like Deep Blue would check millions upon millions of moves to find the best one, all based on rules that humans had programmed into it. Neural networks. That was something different. In 2017, Google's AlphaZero was simply given the rules of chess, nothing else. It then played against itself for just 4 hours. And in that time, it taught itself the entire game from scratch, developing its own unique strategies, its own kind of digital intuition.
And the way it played was absolutely breathtaking. Commentators literally called its style alien. It would make these moves that looked like terrible mistakes to both humans and the old engines, sacrificing its own pieces for some kind of long-term strategic advantage that nobody else could even see. It proved that an AI could not only calculate, but it could actually create. Which brings us right up to today, to what we call the engine era. The revolution that AlphaZero started now completely dominates the game. For modern Grandmasters, the AI is no longer just an opponent. It's an ever-present, all-knowing authority.
Think about it like this. Today's top players have almost become cyborgs. Their own brilliant intuition isn't the final word anymore. Every creative thought, every gut feeling is immediately checked against the truth, as determined by the engine.
And now, we even have a way to measure this new reality. It's called cent-upon loss. It's basically a score that shows how far your moves strayed from the computer's perfect choice. The goal for the best players in the world, get that number as close to zero as humanly possible, to essentially be the machine.
The engine is no longer just a training partner. When you analyze a game, it's the judge. In online tournaments, watching for cheaters, it's the jury. Its perfection has become the one absolute standard by which all human play is measured.
So, where does all this lead? What happens to a game that was once considered the peak of human strategy when it's been, for all practical purposes, solved by a machine? It's time to look to the horizon.
And here's the question that looms over everything. Is this the endgame? Are we headed for a future where the greatest chess matches are played between two perfect AIs, and we're just the audience?
But you know, human creativity is resilient. It adapts. Maybe the goal itself will just change. Instead of trying to win, maybe the new art form will be creating the most beautiful and complex draw imaginable. We might even see AI coaches helping us reach engine-level focus, or players moving to new versions of chess, like Chess 960, just to escape the heavy weight of all that machine theory.
And this leads us to a really powerful new way of looking at it. The relationship has evolved. It's not a war anymore. It's more like a mentorship. The machine has become the master, and we have become its students. And in its perfect play, the AI has shown us these beautiful, hidden truths about this ancient game that we never even knew existed.
You know, the story of AI in chess is really a preview of our own future. As we build more and more perfect forms of intelligence, we're forced to rethink what it means to be intelligent ourselves. And what we're left with is this new synthesis, a blend of our human soul and cold digital precision. The real question isn't what game we'll master next, but what it will mean to be human when we do.